Hey, check out this clip from my morning show and hit that damn subscribe button. All right, next video is about, John Kelly comparing Donald Trump to Hitler. Here's this one.
So check this out. So General
Check it out.
John Kelly, who suddenly tells us that Trump admires Hitler. Trump admires Hitler's generals. Trump says Hitler did some good things, according to General.
And remember, the Hitler part of this Trump and whatever, the John Kelly hates Donald Trump thing and he's an idiot and whatnot. This is the first time we've heard this one. And you would think you would have heard it last election, midterm elections, in the book. You'd think you would have heard about this way before now, not 2 weeks before an election. So I'm calling bullshit on John Kelly anyway. But listen to this.
John Kelly in the Atlantic. Is the general telling the truth, or could there be something else motivating these comments? Well, it turns out, and you just do a little bit of digging, General John Kelly sits on the board of the company that operates the biggest migrant shelter for unaccompanied children who are coming over the border without parents or guardians. That company is called DC Capital Partners, and they own two other companies called Acuity International, and the other one's called Valiance Humanitarian. Yes, and you know what they get? Massive contracts, no bid, meaning they don't have to bid against other companies, from the government.
Speaking of which, and this kind of parallels on the landlord situation in some small towns where they're putting in these large contingents of illegal border crossing migrants, right? So we talked about that, before, how in Springfield, when they have all the Haitians, there's like 15 to 20,000 Haitians in a town of 68,000 people. Although the metro area of Springfield, so to speak, is about 120,000. Either way, you put that many people into one town and you give them government subsidized housing or government vouchers to pay for housing. And then the landlords are like, well, I can make a hell of a lot more on these subsidized migrants than I can on the tenants I had in there. So they just end leases, and then, it just raises the price of housing dramatically in a small town like that, because government money, somebody's going to take that government money and use it to its full extent. So this is the same thing where, these contractors who are taking care of migrant children, they stand to lose a lot of money if Donald Trump comes into office.
So now if Trump is about to be elected and he's going to close the border down, and that means all those unaccompanied minors and children who don't have their family with them or parents, it's possible that General Kelly isn't too excited because his shelters won't be filled up with unaccompanied migrant children.
It's interesting. That's been an argument against the privatization of prisons too. But I'm not so sure that is completely parallel. Maybe it is, but do you think judges, unless they have stock in, private prison companies, are sentencing people to prison because they want to keep the private prisons filled, or they give a shit about private prisons being filled? I'm curious. Anyway.
Which means those giant contracts could go away. You think the Atlantic would just...
No, I didn't say microchip. I said migrant. I just don't enunciate well. Migrant. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Did I just do that? Migrant. This isn't my recital. I think it's very vital to rock around and down on time and dance, rock around and rock around and rock on time is tricky. Sorry. Sometimes I go. If you're new here, every once in a while, I just go off on a music tangent for no reason whatsoever. Real quick. Thank you, JB, for the super chat, who says Trump is literally an Austrian dictator from 1939. Yeah. Seems to be the consensus among these assholes. Okay, let's finish this.
Tiny bit of digging. If your business is built on open borders, maybe you have a slight bias against Trump becoming president.
Yes. Hey, thanks for watching. And if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. It'll be a lot easier to find me that way.